What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today's episode is going to be part 2 of converting this little Vauxhall Vivaro into what's going to be a relatively stealthy little camper van when it's all converted. In the previous episode I did all of the insulation in all of the side panels, the roofing and in the rear doors as well. So the van is pretty much as insulated as possible in all of the walls and ceiling. So today I'm going to be taking up the old plywood flooring. I'm going to be laying down some insulation boards underneath the plywood flooring. And once that's back down, I'm going to be laying down some Altro safety flooring on top of the plywood, and that's going to be the final flooring finish inside the van. Now thankfully it already has properly cut out plywood flooring in place. I've had vans in the past where there was just no flooring at all, so you had to basically create your own template. But as I say, this is all in relatively good condition. It's a little bit dirty because obviously it's been used as a van, but once the new flooring's laid on top of it, that'll be as good as new, and you'll never be able to see any of this dirt that's been built up through the years that the van was used as a van itself. So first things first, as I say, we're going to be going around and undoing any of the fastenings to get the original flooring fully up. We'll see what condition the floor is like underneath this ply. It should be relatively good condition. I've been under the van and it looks relatively rust free all the way around the van pretty much. It's in really good general condition. So as I say, once the old plywood's up, we'll get this insulation laid down, we'll get the plywood laid back down, and we'll get the safety flooring on top of that. So by the end of this video we should have some fully insulated and freshly laid down Altro safety flooring, and then we'll be able to start building up the conversion from there on. Obviously we need the flooring done before we can start building anything on top of it. I can't start building any beds or cupboards or kitchen cabinets or anything like that until the flooring's done. So that is the next part that we're going to get cracked on with. So I'm going to get some safety gear out, some tools out, we'll get cracked on, and within a few minutes, for your side anyway, this will be a fully floored out camper van. So let's get cracked on. Right, so I've got the old flooring up, as we can see there, and I've gave the original flooring, as you can see, a really good sweep down, a tidy down. I've gave it all the good hoover out as well. I've also got in and I've ground down that little bit of rust that was on the side step, and that has some rust treatment. Currently doing its stuff, and once that's dried up I'll get that painted, but that's part of the step, so it's not really going to be getting covered as part of the flooring that's getting laid down here. That will have a separate step applied to that area. So for the rest of the flooring itself, as I say, I've got some 9mm insulating boards here that go in between the original flooring and the plywood floor. I'm going to get this all laid out, cut down to shape, and get it all secured down. Once that's all cut to shape and it covers pretty much the entire floor span area, we'll get the original ply back down itself, and then we'll get the safety flooring stuck down to that as well. But as I said, just looking at the flooring itself here, it's really nice condition. There's very little rust at all anywhere really, especially considering the old flooring was screwed through the floor. I've had plenty of conversions in the past where they've started to rust away where they've been screwed through, but this is, as I say, it's really good condition. I can't say the same if it would have been a Transit of the same age, but it is what it is. As I say, it's not bad, it's not bad. So let's get cracked on, let's get this insulation down, and then we can get the plywood flooring back down and get the flooring finished off. Right, so there's all the floor insulation down. It's all taped in place just to be sure that it's not going to be sliding about while I'm putting the ply back down. And obviously once the ply is back down on top of it and the ply is screwed through the original flooring, it's definitely not going to be moving at all then as well. But as I say, a nice 9mm thickness to this as well, and just sitting on top of it while I was sticking it down, you can just feel the heat radiating off it as well. So as I say, it's a quick, easy way to get the flooring fully insulated. So now I'm going to get all the original plying back down, get that secured into the flooring, and then we can finally get the original Altro safety flooring down as well. But it's looking nice and neat as it is, so let's get the original ply back down, get that secured in, and get the Altro down. Right, so there's the flooring fully insulated, and the plywood flooring is now fully secured back in place now as well. So now we're just going to be laying down the Altro safety flooring. We're going to be putting it down in one full sheet front to back, and then we'll make some trims to go around the wheel arches on both sides, around the side step and around the rear area entrance as well. It's all going to be getting cut down just with a nice little standing knife and some nice new sharp blades that I've got there as well. You do generally need some good sharp blades to cut through this stuff, because as you can see here, it's just rubber backed, it's not foam backed like lino. Very, very tough hardware and stuff, but it also means it's quite hard and tough to cut through as well. But now we're ready for that flooring to go down. As I say, let's get all that safety flooring laid out, let's get some cuts made. Then once it's all trimmed to shape, we'll then be sticking it down with some Trim Fix high temperature spray adhesive. So it's coming along nicely, so let's get this final bit of flooring finished off. Right, so to finish off the flooring, I've got the original floor step back down, and I've cut an extra sheet of the Altro safety flooring and I've laid that underneath the plywood that's going all the way around, because trying to find a plastic trim that covers the entire step area is quite hard to find for these Vivaros. It's not like a VW T4 or T5 where there's loads of custom made stuff. As I tried to find one of the original plastic covers that covers the entire thing, I think they only came out of like taxis and things like that, so very, very hard to find. But in the meantime, as I say, I've got a nice sheet going underneath the original step that covers over the bare metal look. Now I've tried to get some rubber strip going all the way around, but I've tried to use some of the spray adhesive that really hasn't stuck very well. So I've gone out and I've got some Mitre Fast. This stuff is really, really instant super glue type grab. So I'm going to take this little bit of rubber trim back off. I'm going to apply some of the Mitre Fast. I'll also remove and put this step back on as well, because that goes over the trim. And then when we get this final trim back in place and it's stuck properly in place, that'll be the flooring done. So let's get this final little bit of trim all the way around the sliding door area and get this all nice and neatened and tidied up. Right, so there we go guys, that is the flooring fully finished now in this little Vauxhall Vivaro campervan conversion that we're cracking on with. So the floorings had the all-ply flooring fully lifted up, some 9mm flooring insulation laid all the way throughout it underneath the ply flooring. Ply flooring's then being laid back down with the Altro safety flooring laid on top. The rears had this aluminium strip just as a little step for getting in onto the flooring. Same on the side step as well. As I say, if I do come across one of the plastic steps, I might actually fit that, but in the meantime at least it all looks nice and neat and trim with the original step in place with some additional flooring underneath it, and it's got rubber trim all the way around it as well. But as I say, that will be the flooring video done for this week's video. And it also means now I can start cracking on, starting to build out the interior. As you can also see, I've also got the seats out, I've got a driver's seat in place, I've been doing a few other little jobs in between the flooring and a few other bits. And next week's video will probably be installing the solar panel. As you can see, I've got it mounted, but I haven't got it all cabled through yet. That's the cabling coming through from it. So that's probably another job that I've got to finish off, and that'll be for next week's video. But that is all the flooring done in this little Vauxhall Vivaro. Hope you found this video useful, as we're going to be cracking on week by week doing the conversion of this Vivaro to get it fully converted out into a nice little camper van. And if you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button as we go along week by week on this conversion. But as I say, let me know what you think of the work done so far in the comments below. If you found it useful or anything like that, consider giving the video a good old thumbs up, and hopefully I'll see you on next week's video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.